Conversation continues with the governor of Mombasa County, His Excellency Abdulswamad Sharif Nasir, who's our guest this morning. Okay, Governor, we're talking about.
I thought I was a mwenyeji, not a guest. Yeah. I've been here quite a bit of time. But go ahead.
Mgeni siku ya kwanza. Sawa. Governor, we're talking about how you're juggling, and all the counties are basically just doing the same, trying to juggle. So there's a delay in disbursement of shared revenue from the National Treasury to the counties. There's the challenges that you're facing in terms of raising own source revenue, and there's what you have to do. You've been expecting 600 million shillings every month as your share of revenue. Zero has come for 3 months. You have 480 million shillings to pay in salaries every month. You have other millions to pay in terms of just running the county and making things work. And you have to pay people that you owe. This is pending bills. One of the counties that had the highest in terms of pending bills was Mombasa. How much did you inherit in pending bills?
First of all, I just want to clarify one thing. Since being sworn in, I kept a pledge that whoever does any business with the county government of Mombasa, you should be paid on a maximum of 90 days. As we speak right now, I can comfortably say that anyone who did business up to the end of February, there's not a single person, including the Standard Group.
So this is between September
until today, including the Standard Group.
Mutulipa?
Yes. I just confirmed when I was walking in. Yes. And I was saying, they said, no, we have no problem. At least your money rotates. And the answer to that is actually very simple. You need to be financially strict. I know there are a lot of my employees, and they look at me and they tell me, God, this guy. But you just have to be financially strict. Until you sort yourself out. You can't just do things the way people have always been used to. And I'm glad, at least I'm really glad. I have an excellent team. The county employees, majority of them are actually pretty good people. Of course, we have a few bad elements here and there, which we will take care of. But majority of them are actually supportive of our vision. So, one, we don't have anyone who can say that they did business.
So you have not increased on your pending bills?
We have not.
So what is the outstanding pending bill?
The last figure that was there was close to about 4 billion. Now, I have a plan, and I'm glad. I mean, it's something that I'm hoping that my colleague governors can be able to follow suit. It's up to them. I mean, everyone has their own way of dealing with these issues. You already have a debt that you have to pay. One of the tasks that I've given to the finance department is, one, they need to work with the Office of the Auditor General to confirm were those works truly done. That is very vital. It's very easy. It's very easy to be able to, things get mixed up, especially when there's transition. Things always happen. So probably without even certain people at the helm not even being able to know what is going on, there are always things that can be able to happen. So one of the things that I want to do is we want to confirm whether works were actually confirmed. We'll do this through, of course, the Office of the Auditor General, physically checking that, yes, this work was actually done, reconfirming what is the level of pending bills that is there. I looked at this and I walked into financial institutions. I'd like not to mention them for now because I want to sign it as a very, very grand issue. I told them, look, I've honored my word. Some of you guys, I've been paying you on things that I found them, but I honored my word. And I've been paying you, and you know very well, my liability with yourself in the next couple of months is 0. And now I have an offer. And they said what it is. They said, why don't you buy out all the pending bills and let me pay you over a period of 3 years. How it's going to be a win-win. We're going to get a whole team, a consortium, whether internally or plus external help. And we're going to call all the people who've got pending bills. After they've been verified by the legal statutory bodies, which is the Office of the Auditor General, we now surpass it to an even extra test. And we now sit down with you and we'll tell you, look, one, let's not look into the issue of interest and everything else. We have your money that we're going to pay you immediately. So first thing that we intend to do is to drastically reduce the level of pending bills. Because there's a lot of issues people ended up charging, interest, penalties, and all that. A lot of people also, we're going to give you an offer and tell you that I'm paying you immediately.
Yeah.
And if I pay you immediately,
You can waive.
you waive a certain percentage off. The cabinet in Mombasa has already approved this. We've sent this to the county assembly. I want to get concurrence, not for anything else, but just for purposes of comfort, because I want to pay this over a period of 3 years. Now then that becomes very easy. Even when I'm doing my budgeting, I'll do my budgeting and I'll include that I have to pay a certain amount of money as pending bills. Now, this becomes a win-win. The county government is removed from that leash of being haphazardly told you have to pay this, then there's a court case, then you have to rush here, try and firefight here. My CCs having to try and do things randomly because they don't know what has exactly happened. Secondly, it's a win-win because we get to inject into the economy immediately. I'm hoping that a number of the people who are actually given that business are Mombasa people.
Mombasa.
I'm hoping. But we get to inject into the economy a couple of billions instantly. Now you can imagine what that's going to do to the economy of Mombasa.
So what is your projection? So let's assume that once
I'm projecting that I think I can comfortably be able, if we negotiate well, we can comfortably be able to reduce these pending bills to about 2.5. One, even if the banks charge us interest, which of course we are now discussing with them, they still will not reach that level of what the current pending bills are. Two, you're not expecting those figures to go higher because if you don't pay someone, they're telling you that the interest goes higher and higher and higher.
To do the business,
Exactly. So if this goes through, and the beauty is the assembly is currently on recess. So we're waiting for the assembly to go back. And I've discussed this with them on an informal basis, and they're in agreement that we need to pay these pending bills. I went to knock on the financial institutions, their doors, and they actually welcomed the idea. And I think what was most important is that our credit rating has also gone high. When I started, I actually wrote to all banks and I told them who wants to do business with us as a county government. Not many came through. Right now, they're all knocking on our doors.
Yeah.
So 2.5 billion is your estimation?
I'm estimating that we can be able to negotiate downwards, not upwards. And even if we pay it over 3 years, including all expenses and everything else, we will still be better off than what we are right now. I've got people right now knocking on my doors and telling me that I've not been paid over the last 8 years. Other people have not been paid from the times of the municipal council till today. We need to negotiate with people like the pension funds on issues to do with the interest. Now, if I'm going to be able to inject that money and pensioners get their money, it's a win-win for everyone. I only need Treasury to give me concurrence on this, and this is why it is important to get support from national government. I need a Treasury to give me concurrence that, look, in my budgeting, I'll be able to include a certain amount of money as pending bills for the next 3 years. The only request that the financial institutions have asked me is as long as you don't overspread it past, because we don't know
Past the 3 years.
the
you never
past
know what
after
happens.
3 years.
Whether you'll be still governor.
Yes.
Governor, do I
That's
hear
a
you
very subtle way of putting it.
Yes, exactly. Do I hear you to be saying that essentially what you're looking at with regards to Mombasa County, you want to, one, rationalize the activities of this county. And this albatross on your neck, well, on all governors' necks, called the pending bills.
Yes.
You are rationalizing it. Now, I want to go back to health services because this is always crucial and it's the thing that always rears its head and it's difficult. Coast General Hospital is not Mombasa General Hospital, it's Coast.
Yes.
Now, if you are dealing with the cost of running that hospital, are we saying that the residents of Mombasa County are the only ones who use that hospital?
Actually, ironically, the Coast General Hospital currently, close to about 70% of the people who use that facility are not from Mombasa. They're actually referrals from all the way from Makueni, referrals from Lamu, from Kilifi,
From Tete,
from everywhere. So you get a person, especially the level 4s and the level 3s in all these other areas, they all refer patients to us.
Yeah.
And it's a huge burden. In the previous years, right now it's not there. The hospitals used to get, the level 5s would get a conditional grant. Right now we're not getting any conditional grants for the hospital. So that same 600 million I need to use to maintain that hospital, my own source revenue.
So you're
as well.
subsidizing the other counties essentially?
I'm basically subsidizing the other counties. Yes, it's true.
How do you raise this with the other counties? You, for example,
When I was a
sit
member of
together
parliament, I foresaw this happening, and I actually presented a bill in parliament. I actually presented a bill, and I wanted to convert the Coast General Hospital into a national referral hospital, with the same views that the county government of Mombasa is suffering. The Council of Governors then called me in for a meeting, and I remember very well it was at Serena, and they asked me, they said, look, one, you're going to kill devolution, two, drop this bill, we have a solution, and they said that every county that is currently referring patients there will be doing like a subsidy, like they will be giving something.
They'll be
Like,
contributing
watakuwa na changa. It'll be like on a changa. Yeah, and they will be giving. This actually happened. It was at Serena. The former governor requested me. I obliged, and I actually dropped that bill. It never happened. Right now, what we basically now have to do is, and I've told the management that amongst the things that they need to be able to agree on, I will jealously guard the people of Mombasa. Now, hear me out. I might sound selfish for the remaining 30-something million Kenyans, but my first priority is to jealously guard the residents of Mombasa.
Okay.
One of the things that we intend to do is roll out a massive NHIF program. Like I said, in the next 10 days, there's going to be 10,000 families, and then I'm hoping that before then I've even told them now that they need to review. I'm actually asking them to review when they're going to get referrals from hospitals that are county hospitals outside of Mombasa. Those county hospitals that you give us those referrals have to pay us something.
Is this a matter that you are planning to raise at the Jumuiya Counties of Pwani? Because there is
This is an issue that had already been discussed. But what we will do...
Was it formally discussed and agreed at...
Not during my time, but at least during the previous regime, I am aware that they tried to raise these matters. But what I intend to do is we will give the Coast General Hospital an opportunity and their legal team to draft something, and that will be subjected to public participation, including the other governors to be able to bring in their input as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we can't, I mean, we've been sustaining the whole coastal region for the same amount of money that we're getting.
That's true. You see, this hospital was a provincial hospital.
Yes.
Right? So it was serving the region.
Yes.
And that's why even the budgetary allocation for it was to serve the region. Now, you cannot suddenly just say, okay, so we have it, we got it, it's here with us. You, the rest of you, stay out. What's the best way? The bill that you had was a good idea. How about working with the current members of parliament to revive that bill, probably,
And
or bring that issue at the Jumuiya counties of Pwani or whatever, such that there is a serious allocation that goes there, or you suggest or propose to the national government to take over the hospital. You
No.
wanted that anyway in the first place. as an MP.
when I wanted that, I was not in the shoes as a governor. I'm currently wearing the shoes of a governor. I will protect devolution now. Like I said, I'm and not for any other reason. I mean, if you're looking at it in terms of financial burden, that's a couple of 100 millions every month that is off me. But I also need to look at one thing. It is the people over the last 10 years. It is again the people of Mombasa's resources that were used to build up. The hospital has not remained stagnant. It has grown. It's got equipment. It's got this. It's got that. It's not the way that it was prior to devolution. It is currently a better hospital. My intent is now to take it even further than that. So now if I come on board now and say that I'm letting this go, what about that investment that has already been put in?
Unfortunately, Governor, I'm not hearing a solid plan of how to address this.
And-
What I'm
and-
hearing
and-
you
and-
say
and I actually
is
said
the people of Mombasa are going to get first priority.
Yes.
And if you're coming from outside Mombasa, then we're going to tell you that county should pay. Of course, I'm a patient. I'm not going to start talking to
It's not you who's going to
Governor of,
No.
of Kwale or Governor of Taita Taveta. So
Hear me
there's-
out. They're actually going to I'm giving them, in a nutshell, they will be allowed to review their billing. That if a billing comes in from a referral,
There'll be an extra
there'll be
percentage.
a certain extra amount. And I'm saying this, it is a tough choice, but I need to protect the people of Mombasa.
I'm just hearing you say
And, basically,
that if you're a patient coming from Mombasa, you're not welcome here.
No,
Coming from outside Mombasa.
Outside Mombasa.
Eric, I think that's
You're not
an
welcome here.
evil way of putting it.
Unless you're willing to pay 5,000 shillings.
It's not even
extra.
you who's going to pay it.
But Eric, he didn't say that.
That's
The patient is the one who gets billed, City.
no.
You go to hospital, you are the patient
No,
who
no.
will receive a bill.
Let's
that-
ask the question: how are referrals managed?
Eric, I hope you get sick as well and you come. I'll bill Sakaja. Are you from Nairobi?
I'm from Machakos.
Oh, okay. No, I don't hope that you get ill. That was just a metaphor of.
Coast Provincial General Hospital.
Yeah.
It was called that.
I was just in the process of trying to redeem myself. You actually, in a nutshell, was saying that this is the evil guy who's going to chase away a dying patient. No, we're not going to do that.
Or make you sick.
Like, seriously. I mean, honestly. One, legally, that's something that is totally not allowed. But two, we need to be oblivious of the fact that we are getting a huge amount of referrals from our neighboring counties.
Yeah.
And what I told you was that the Coast General Hospital will now need to relook at their figures. When I say they relook at their figures, I'm not saying that we purposely or intentionally are going to be, because first of all, then what is going to happen is very simple. A patient who's going to come in from Kilifi is just going to walk in and say that I'm from Mombasa. How do I start now identifying a sick patient? What do I tell a sick patient? Before I take you in, you're dying there, let me confirm with the IBC whether you're a registered voter. Some things we need to look at them in a practical way. But what we can be able to do is put up something in a legal way. And I've asked the teams to already start looking into that. That in a legal way, that they can charge the referring hospital. There's a difference there. So you come in, and of course, this is going to be subject. The best way to start talking is, instead of talking over a table in a conference room and we discuss and nothing happens, better than even doing an MOU per se, why don't you put it in some form of legislation? Then thereafter, subject it to public participation with those entities that are going to be affected, the ones that are going to be able to chip in, to be part and parcel as well, that they will give their recommendations as well. They will, one, realize that yes, we're having a problem. We'll be able to showcase to them figures that, as a matter of fact, your county, your hospital gives us this amount of referrals. They've been able to do this amount of referrals over this amount of time. This other county has been able to give this amount of referrals. As a matter of fact, your county, we get referrals from 3 of your county facilities and so forth.
Okay.
And let that conversation start from there. In that way, it's better than just saying that, have you brought it up with Jumuiya? Have you sat down with your other governors? Instead of doing that, we want to go make it more proactive. Tell them, look, this is the proposal we have. We've actually put it in terms of some form of legislation. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm the governor. I can be able to give the direction that this is what I want to be able to be done, and that is what they're currently working on.
Okay.
And we're hoping that after that has been done, we'll pass it through my colleagues, let everyone have their input on it, and we take it from there.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.